Listen up, pizza. Is there anything better? It's the world's favorite food, and for good reason. It's simple, it's versatile, and it's absolutely delicious. From the crispy crust to the gooey cheese, every bite is an explosion of flavor. Whether you're a fan of classic toppings or prefer to experiment with gourmet creations, there's a pizza out there for everyone. Today, we're going to embark on a culinary journey to create pizza perfection in your own kitchen. That's right, we're ditching the takeout menus and becoming pizza masters. Get ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into the wonderful world of pizza. Let's kick things off with a true classic, the margherita. This pizza is all about simplicity and fresh, high-quality ingredients. Don't underestimate its power. A perfectly executed margherita is a thing of beauty. Ingredients: pizza dough, store-bought or homemade; San Marzano tomatoes crushed, fresh mozzarella cheese sliced, basil leaves, olive oil, salt and pepper to taste. Instructions: 1. Preheat your oven to the highest setting. It needs to be screaming hot for a perfect crust. 1. Stretch your dough out on a lightly floured surface. 1. Spread a thin layer of crushed tomatoes over the dough, leaving a small border for the crust. 1. Arrange the mozzarella slices evenly over the sauce. 1. Drizzle with olive oil, season with salt and pepper, and scatter fresh basil leaves on top. 1. Slide the pizza onto a preheated pizza stone or baking sheet and bake until the crust is golden and the cheese is bubbly and slightly charred. 1. Remove from the oven, let it cool slightly, slice, and enjoy. Let's take the margherita up a notch and create its sophisticated cousin, the caprese pizza. This delightful variation brings a fresh twist to the classic. This pizza is all about celebrating the fresh, vibrant flavors of Italy. Each ingredient is carefully selected to bring out the best in every bite. Ingredients: pizza dough, store-bought or homemade, the foundation of any great pizza. San Marzano tomatoes, crushed. These tomatoes are known for their rich flavor and low acidity. Fresh mozzarella cheese, sliced, cherry tomatoes halved, olive oil for that perfect drizzle. Salt and pepper to taste, simple seasonings that make a big difference. Instructions: 1. Preheat your oven just like we did for the margherita, as hot as it will go. This ensures a crispy crust. 1. Roll out your pizza dough on a lightly floured surface. Aim for an even thickness. 1. Spread a thin layer of crushed tomatoes over the dough, leaving a small border. This will be the base of your pizza. 1. Distribute the mozzarella slices evenly over the sauce. Make sure every bite gets some cheese. 1. Scatter the halved cherry tomatoes over the pizza. These add a burst of sweetness. 1. Drizzle generously with olive oil and season with salt and pepper. This enhances the flavors. 1. Slide the pizza onto a preheated pizza stone or baking sheet and bake until the crust is golden and the cheese is bubbly and slightly charred. This usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. 1. Remove from the oven and top with fresh basil leaves and a drizzle of balsamic glaze for an extra touch of flavor. Enjoy your homemade caprese pizza. Section 4. A meat lover's dream. Building the ultimate meat feast pizza. Alright meat lovers, it's your turn. Get ready to create a pizza that's packed with all your favorite meats. This pizza is a carnivore's paradise, loaded with savory meats and a tangy barbecue sauce base. Ingredients: pizza dough, store-bought or homemade; shredded mozzarella cheese; cooked and crumbled Italian sausage; cooked and diced pepperoni; cooked and crumbled bacon; red onion, thinly sliced; green bell pepper, thinly sliced; olive oil. Instructions: 1. Crank that oven up. High heat is key for a crispy crust. Preheat it to the highest setting your oven allows. 2. Roll out your pizza dough on a lightly floured surface. Make sure it's even and not too thick. 3. Spread a generous layer of barbecue sauce over the dough, leaving a small border. This will be the base of your flavor. 4. Sprinkle a generous amount of mozzarella cheese over the sauce. The cheese will melt and create a gooey layer. 5. Evenly distribute the cooked Italian sausage, pepperoni, and bacon over the cheese. Make sure every bite has some meat. 6. Add the thinly sliced red onion and green bell pepper. These veggies add a nice crunch and balance to the pizza. 7. Drizzle with olive oil for extra flavor and richness. It helps to bring all the ingredients together. 8. Slide the pizza onto a preheated pizza stone or baking sheet and bake until the crust is golden brown and the cheese is melted and bubbly. This should take about 10-15 minutes. 9. Remove from the oven, let it cool slightly, slice it up, and get ready for a flavor explosion. Enjoy your ultimate meat feast pizza. Section 5. Spice up your life conquering the spicy pepperoni pizza. This one's for those who like a little kick. If you're a fan of bold flavors and a bit of heat, this pizza is your perfect match. We're talking spicy pepperoni, fiery chili flakes, and a hint of sweetness from honey, a match made in pizza heaven. Ingredients: pizza dough, store-bought or homemade. The foundation of any great pizza starts with the dough. San Marzano tomatoes crushed, spicy pepperoni slices, the star of our show. Red pepper flakes, olive oil for that perfect crisp. Salt and pepper to taste. Instructions: 1. Preheat your oven. Remember, we want it screaming hot. This ensures a crispy crust. 2. Roll out your pizza dough on a lightly floured surface. Make sure it's even. 3. Spread a thin layer of crushed tomatoes over the dough, leaving a small border. This will be our base. 4. Sprinkle a generous amount of mozzarella cheese over the sauce. Cheese lovers, this is your moment. 5. Arrange the spicy pepperoni slices evenly over the cheese. Make sure every bite has some heat. 6. Drizzle with olive oil and season with salt and pepper. This adds flavor and helps with the crispiness. 7. Sprinkle generously with red pepper flakes. Adjust the amount to your liking. More flakes, more heat. 8. Slide the pizza onto a preheated pizza stone or baking sheet and bake until the crust is golden brown and the pepperoni is crispy. Keep an eye on it. 9. Remove from the oven, drizzle with a touch of honey for a hint of sweetness. Let it cool slightly, slice and enjoy the heat. The perfect balance of spicy and sweet. Section 6. Beyond the ordinary, exploring gourmet pizza possibilities. Now that we've mastered the classics, it's time to get creative. Gourmet pizzas are all about experimenting with unique flavor combinations and high-quality ingredients. Here are some ideas to get you started. Fig and prosciutto pizza. The sweetness of the figs pairs perfectly with the salty prosciutto, creating a symphony of flavors. Add a drizzle of balsamic glaze for an extra touch of sweetness. Roasted vegetable pizza. Embrace the bounty of seasonal vegetables. Roast a medley of colorful vegetables like peppers, onions, zucchini, and eggplant, and scatter them over a bed of creamy goat cheese and fresh herbs. Caramelized onion and gorgonzola pizza. The sweet and savory combination of caramelized onions and pungent gorgonzola cheese is simply divine. Add a sprinkle of walnuts for added crunch and flavor. Section 7. Unleash your inner pizzaiolo. Remember, there are no limits when it comes to creating your own pizza masterpieces. Don't be afraid to experiment with different toppings, sauces, and cheeses. The most important thing is to have fun and enjoy the process. So gather your ingredients, fire up your oven, and unleash your inner pizzaiolo.
Hey there, cake lovers! Welcome to another exciting episode of Chocolate Cake Magic. It's Buddy Velastro, the cake boss here. I'm thrilled to have you join me today. Today, we're diving into a world of chocolate cake decorating. We'll explore the tools and techniques that can turn a simple cake into a work of art. Get ready to transform your cakes from simple to sensational. We'll start with a plain chocolate cake and show you how to elevate it to a masterpiece. We're talking about techniques that look super fancy but are easy to do. You don't need to be a professional to make your cakes look amazing. Whether you're a beginner or a baking pro, I'm here to show you how to create stunning masterpieces. We'll cover everything from basic techniques to advanced tips. Get your aprons ready and let's get started. We'll begin with the essentials and work our way up to more intricate designs. You know what I love about chocolate cake? It's not just delicious, but it's also a blank canvas for your creativity. The possibilities are endless. It's a blank canvas for your creativity. You can let your imagination run wild and create something truly unique. With a few simple techniques, you can turn an ordinary cake into a showstopper. We'll show you how to add those special touches that make all the difference. We're going to explore piping, stencils, and even how to use everyday ingredients like fruits and chocolate shards to make your cakes look amazing. These techniques are not only easy, but also incredibly effective. Trust me, decorating is half the fun. It's a chance to express yourself and bring joy to others with your creations. So, let's dive in and start decorating. Before we jump into the fun part, let's talk about the crumb coat. This is a thin layer of frosting that seals in those pesky crumbs. It creates a smooth surface for your final decorations. No one wants a crumbly masterpiece. To apply a crumb coat, Use an offset spatula to spread a thin layer of frosting all over your cake. Don't worry about making it perfect. The goal is to trap those crumbs. Once you've covered the cake, pop it in the fridge for about 30 minutes to set. Now you're ready for the real decorating fun. Piping is like drawing with frosting. It's a simple way to add details, borders, and even write messages on your cake. All you need are piping bags and tips. Piping tips come in different shapes and sizes to create different effects. Start with a basic star tip. It's great for creating rosettes, borders, and swirls. Hold the piping bag at a 90-degree angle to the cake. Squeeze gently and lift the tip as you move it along. Practice makes perfect. Once you've mastered the star tip, experiment with other shapes like round tips for writing and leaf tips for creating foliage. Section 4. Beyond piping stencils, fruits, and more. Don't stop at piping. There are so many other ways to decorate your chocolate cake. Let's dive into some creative techniques that will elevate your cake decorating skills to the next level. From stencils to fresh fruits and even chocolate shards, the possibilities are endless. Stencils are your secret weapon for intricate designs. They allow you to create patterns and shapes that would be difficult to achieve freehand. Whether you're aiming for a simple geometric pattern or an elaborate floral design, stencils can make your cake look professionally decorated with minimal effort. Just place the stencil on your cake and dust powdered sugar or cocoa powder over it. The key is to hold the stencil steady to ensure a clean, sharp design. You can also experiment with colored sugars or edible glitter for a more festive look. Carefully lift the stencil to reveal a beautiful pattern. The moment of unveiling is always exciting as you get to see the intricate design come to life. This technique is perfect for adding a touch of elegance to any cake, whether it's for a birthday, wedding, or any special occasion. Fresh fruits and flowers add a touch of elegance and color. Use strawberries, raspberries, or blueberries to create a border or arrange them in a pretty pattern on top. The natural colors and textures of the fruits can make your cake look vibrant and inviting. You can also mix and match different fruits to create a more dynamic and colorful design. For example, combining strawberries with blueberries can give your cake a patriotic theme, perfect for holidays like the 4th of July. Edible flowers like pansies and violas add a touch of sophistication. These delicate blooms not only look beautiful, but are also safe to eat. They can be used to create a romantic, garden-like feel on your cake, making it perfect for weddings or springtime celebrations. And don't forget about chocolate shards. These can add a dramatic flair to your cake. Chocolate shards are not only visually striking, but also add a delicious crunch that complements the softness of the cake. Simply melt some chocolate and spread it thinly on parchment paper. You can use dark, milk, or white chocolate, depending on your preference. For an added touch, sprinkle some sea salt or crushed nuts on the melted chocolate before it sets. Let it cool slightly, then break it into shards. The irregular shapes add a rustic charm to your cake. You can make the shards as big or as small as you like, depending on the look you're going for. Arrange the shards on your cake for a dramatic and delicious decoration. The contrast between the smooth cake and the jagged shards creates a visually stunning effect. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced baker, these techniques will help you create a cake that's not only delicious, but also a feast for the eyes. Section 5. Design Delights Step-by-Step Inspiration. Ready for some inspiration? In this section, we will guide you through the process of creating 2 stunning cake designs that are sure to impress. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced baker, these step-by-step instructions will help you achieve professional-looking results. Let's create a stunning chocolate cake together. This cake will be the centerpiece of any celebration, and it's easier to make than you might think. Design 1. The Chocolate Drip Cake. This elegant cake features a smooth, glossy chocolate drip that cascades down the sides, creating a visually striking effect. Start with a frosted cake. Make sure the frosting is smooth and even, as this will be the base for your chocolate drip. Melt some chocolate chips with a little bit of heavy cream. This will create a rich, creamy ganache that will be perfect for dripping. Let the chocolate cool slightly. You want it to be thick enough to hold its shape, but still fluid enough to drip down the sides of the cake. Pour the melted chocolate over the edges of the cake, letting it drip down the sides. The key is to pour slowly and steadily to control the drips. Use a spoon to guide the drips and create a beautiful pattern. You can make the drips as long or as short as you like, depending on your preference. Design 2. The Fruity Delight Cake. This cake is perfect for those who love a burst of fresh fruit flavor. It's colorful, vibrant, and absolutely delicious. Frost your cake with chocolate frosting. The rich, creamy frosting will complement the fresh fruit beautifully. Arrange fresh berries like strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries on top of the cake. The combination of different berries adds a variety of flavors and colors. Create a border of chocolate shards around the edge of the cake. These shards add a touch of elegance and a bit of crunch to each bite. Dust the cake with powdered sugar for a final touch. This not only adds a bit of sweetness, but also gives the cake a beautiful finished look. And there you have it. 2 stunning cake designs that are sure to impress your guests. And Section 6. Your cake, your canvas. Unleash your creativity. Remember, these are just a few ideas to get you started. Don't be afraid to experiment and let your creativity run wild. Use your favorite colors, flavors, and decorations to make your cake truly unique. Add sprinkles, nuts, or even candy to personalize your creation. The most important thing is to have fun. Cake decorating is all about expressing yourself and creating something special. So go ahead, get creative, and amaze yourself with what you can do. Section 7. Finishing touches, sparkle and shine. Now for the finishing touches. Edible glitter and sprinkles add a touch of magic and sparkle to your cake. Sprinkle them on top of your frosting, around the edges, or even on individual decorations. And there you have it. You've transformed a simple chocolate cake into a work of art. Remember, practice makes perfect. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn and grow. And most importantly, have fun. Share your creations with me on social media. I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Hey, food fans! Welcome to another delicious episode where we dive into the world of culinary delights. Today we're talking about 2 American classics that have won the hearts and taste buds of millions: hot dogs and hamburgers. These iconic eats are more than just food, they're woven into the very fabric of American culture. Whether it's a summer fair or a family picnic, these treats are always a hit. From backyard barbecues to bustling baseball games, you'll find these tasty treats everywhere. They're the go-to comfort food for many, bringing people together over a shared love of good eats. But have you ever wondered where they came from? How did these simple yet delicious foods become such an integral part of our culinary landscape? Buckle up, because we're about to take a delicious trip through time to uncover the juicy origins of these American favorites. We'll explore their journey from humble beginnings to becoming the stars of the American food scene. We're talking street food kings, the ultimate comfort food, the kind of grub that makes you want to grab a cold drink and kick back. These foods have a way of making any occasion feel special. But these American icons didn't just appear out of thin air, their roots trace back to the bustling markets and street vendors of Europe. Their story takes us back across the Atlantic to the heart of Europe, where the seeds of these beloved bites were first planted. So let's dive in and uncover the rich history behind these beloved bites. Get ready for a mouth-watering journey through time and taste. Believe it or not, the history of the hot dog goes way back, long before baseball games and backyard barbecues. We're talking ancient times, folks. Sausages, the ancestors of our beloved hot dog, have been around for centuries. These early sausages were made from ground meat, spices, and fillers, stuffed into casings. They were a popular and practical way to preserve food in the days before refrigeration. Talk about a food revolution. Over time, different cultures developed their own unique sausage recipes, but the basic idea remained the same. And it was in Germany where our hot dog story really begins to take shape. In the 19th century, German immigrants began flocking to America, bringing their delicious culinary traditions along for the ride. One of these tasty traditions, the Frankfurter, a smooth, flavorful sausage named after Frankfurt, Germany. These German butchers, with their passion for quality and flavor, set up shops in cities like New York and Chicago, selling their beloved Frankfurters to hungry customers. They were often served in a long, soft roll, making for a convenient and portable meal. Little did they know, they were laying the groundwork for an American food revolution. Now, here's where the story gets a little murky. No one knows for sure how the hot dog got its catchy name. Some say it came from vendors at baseball games in New York City who would yell, "Get your red hots." Others claim the name was inspired by the dachshund-shaped sausages themselves. Whatever the true story, the name stuck, and the hot dog quickly became a ballpark favorite. It was the perfect food to enjoy while cheering on your favorite team. The hot dog's rise to fame was fueled by its affordability, convenience, and of course, its irresistible flavor. It was a true taste of America, enjoyed by people from all walks of life. Section 5. Hamburg steaks, the German roots of a classic. While the hot dog was finding its footing in America, another German culinary import was about to make its grand entrance, the hamburger. But before we talk about patties nestled between fluffy buns, we need to go back to Hamburg, Germany. There, a dish called Hamburg steak was gaining popularity. This simple yet satisfying meal consisted of ground beef, finely chopped onions, and a blend of spices, formed into a patty and cooked to juicy perfection. It was a hearty and flavorful dish, beloved by sailors and laborers alike. Little did the people of Hamburg know that their humble steak would soon become the star of a global culinary phenomenon. Section 6. Bringing Hamburg style to the States. Just like the Frankfurter, the Hamburg steak made its way to America with German immigrants in the 19th century. They brought their love for this savory dish and started selling it at various food stands and restaurants. These Hamburg-style beef patties were a hit with Americans, who appreciated their rich flavor and hearty texture. They were often served on a plate with sides like potatoes or sauerkraut, but it was the addition of a simple ingredient that would truly transform the Hamburg steak into the American icon we know today. Section 7. The bun, a game changer for the hamburger. Enter the bun. Adding a soft, fluffy bun to the Hamburg steak was a stroke of genius. It made the meal more portable, easier to eat, and added a delightful textural contrast. But who exactly came up with this brilliant idea? Well, that's where things get a little messy. Section 8. The Great Bun Debate. Who did it first? The invention of the hamburger as we know it is a subject of much debate. This iconic American food has a murky origin story, with several contenders vying for the title of the first to create the hamburger. Several individuals and families claim to have been the first to put a Hamburg steak on a bun. Each story is as compelling as the next, adding to the rich tapestry of American culinary history. Some say it was the Menches brothers at a county fair in Ohio. Legend has it that they ran out of pork for their sandwiches and decided to use beef instead, thus creating the hamburger. Others credit Louis Lasson, a Connecticut lunch counter owner. According to this tale, Louis served the first hamburger to a customer in 1900, using scraps of beef and placing them between two slices of bread. And let's not forget Oscar Weber Bilby from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who claimed to have served his hamburgers on buns as early as 1891. His family insists that Oscar was the true pioneer of the hamburger bun. The truth is, we may never know for sure who deserves all the credit. Each of these stories has its own charm and plausibility, making it difficult to pinpoint the exact origin. But one thing's for certain, putting that juicy patty on a bun was a game changer. It transformed a simple meat dish into a portable, delicious meal that could be enjoyed anywhere. It created a culinary masterpiece that would capture the hearts and stomachs of Americans for generations to come. The hamburger became a symbol of American ingenuity and a beloved staple in diets across the nation. Section 9. A Taste of America. From ballparks to backyards. From their humble beginnings as German immigrants' culinary traditions, hot dogs and hamburgers have become synonymous with American cuisine. These simple yet delicious foods have a fascinating history that dates back to the 19th century, when German immigrants brought their recipes to the United States. They're enjoyed in countless ways, topped with mustard, ketchup, relish, onions, and more. Cheese, the works. The versatility of these foods means there's a version for everyone, whether you prefer a classic preparation or something more adventurous. These beloved foods have transcended their simple origins to become cultural icons, enjoyed by people from all walks of life. They bring people together, creating shared experiences and memories. Whether you're at a baseball game, a backyard barbecue, or a fancy restaurant, the presence of hot dogs and hamburgers is a testament to their enduring popularity. You're bound to find a delicious hot dog or hamburger on the menu. These foods have become staples in American dining, offering comfort and familiarity. So the next time you sink your teeth into one of these American classics, remember that you're partaking in a rich tradition that spans generations. Take a moment to appreciate their rich history and the culinary journey that brought them to your plate. From the streets of 19th century America to the diverse dining scenes of today, hot dogs and hamburgers continue to be a beloved part of our culinary heritage. Hey, before I forget, subscribe to the Culinary Recipe Creations channel for more video tutorials just like this one. The cooking fun is just beginning. So let's dig into the recipes that will feed your fancy. See you real soon. Bye for now. Keep on cooking. Hey there, welcome to the kitchen. Listen up. Have you ever been staring at a beautiful piece of chuck, knowing it's packed with flavor, but then you remember how tough it can be? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're tackling that challenge head on. We're taking that cheap, tough chuck steak and turning it into something so juicy, so tender, it'll make a ribeye jealous. And the best part? We're doing it all with just 3 simple techniques. That's right, whether it's beef, pork, chicken, you name it, this recipe will change the way you cook tough cuts forever. We're talking jacquarding, and yes, we're bringing in the fancy tools. Then we're hitting it with a dry brine, the secret weapon for flavor and juiciness. And finally, we're finishing it off with a reverse sear that'll give you a crust so perfect, you'll be plating it up in a Michelin-starred restaurant. You ready to get your hands dirty? Let's get started. Alright, first up, let's talk about jacquarding. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jacquarding? Sounds like something you do with curtains, not steak. But trust me, it's a game changer in the kitchen. This step is all about breaking down those tough fibers in the meat, turning that chuck steak from a chewy nightmare into a tender dream. It's the secret to making even the toughest cuts of meat melt in your mouth. Now, a jacquard tenderizer, it's a tool, not a magic wand, though it might as well be. It's got these little needles that puncture the meat. These needles are designed to create tiny channels in the meat. Don't worry, it's not as brutal as it sounds. These tiny punctures, they're going to help the meat absorb moisture like a sponge, soften up, and cook more evenly. This means your steak will be juicy and flavorful. No more dry, tough steak. You'll be serving up restaurant-quality meals right at home. So, here's how we do it. Grab your chuck steak, lay it flat on your cutting board. Make sure it's clean, you don't want last week's dinner making a guest appearance, and take your jacquard tenderizer. This is where the magic begins. Now press it into the surface of the steak, making sure you cover every single inch. Be thorough but gentle. Don't go hammering it like you're building a house. Be gentle. Let the tool do its job. The key is to let the needles do the work for you. You'll see these little puncture marks all over. That's what we want. These marks are the pathways to a tender, flavorful steak. And remember, this isn't just about texture, it's about tenderness. Those punctures are like little doorways for flavor to get in there. Seasoning and marinades will penetrate deeper, making every bite delicious. Now I know some of you are panicking. Gordon, I haven't got a jacquard tenderizer. Don't worry, there's a simple solution. Don't you dare reach for that takeaway menu. We're not giving up that easily. If you don't have a jacquard tenderizer, a simple fork will do the trick. Just make sure it's clean and sturdy. Just stab it all over, but for God's sake, be careful not to go too deep. We want to tenderize, not mutilate. We're not trying to turn it into a pincushion. The goal is to create enough punctures to break down the fibers and allow flavors to seep in. Once you've tenderized that meat, we're moving on to the next step. Get ready to transform that steak into a culinary masterpiece. Now, we're moving on to the dry brine, a technique that will elevate your steak to new heights. This, my friends, is where we take that chuck steak from good to brilliant. It's all about enhancing the natural flavors. Dry brining might sound fancy, but it's dead simple. Even a donkey could do it. No special skills required. Basically, we're going to season the meat with salt and let it sit. That's it. No complicated steps. This isn't just about making it salty, though. It's about creating a depth of flavor. This is about amplifying the flavor and making sure that steak holds on to every drop of juicy goodness. The salt works wonders. So, here's the game plan. Grab your kosher salt, none of that table salt rubbish, and sprinkle it generously on both sides of the steak. Be thorough, don't be shy. We're not looking for a light dusting here. We want a good, even coating. Use about half to 1 teaspoon of salt per side depending on the size of your steak. Adjust as needed. Now here's the hard part. You have to leave it alone. Patience is key here. That's right. Put down the pepper grinder, step away from the steak, let it rest. Let that salted beauty sit uncovered on a rack for at least 1 to 2 hours. This is crucial, alright? Don't rush it. This gives the salt time to work its magic. It's a transformative process. It draws out the moisture from the steak, and then that moisture mixes with the salt and gets reabsorbed back into the meat. A beautiful cycle. The result? A steak that's more flavorful and juicier than you ever thought possible. It's a game changer. And don't forget about the air circulation, that's important too. It helps in the drying process. It helps dry out the surface of the steak, which means we're going to get a perfect sear later on. That crust is what dreams are made of. Now, I know time is precious, but if you want to take it to another level, leave that steak in the fridge overnight for an even deeper brine. The longer, the better. Trust me, it's worth the wait. Your patience will be rewarded, but even just 1 to 2 hours will make a world of difference. You'll taste the improvement. Alright you lot, are you ready for the final step? This is where all our hard work pays off. This is it, the moment of truth, the grand finale of our culinary journey. We're about to reverse sear this bad boy and turn it into a masterpiece. Trust me, this technique is a game changer. Reverse searing, it's not some newfangled cooking technique, it's just simple science. It's about precision and patience. We're going to cook the steak slowly at a low temperature first, allowing the meat to cook evenly. And then we're going to finish it off with a high-heat sear that'll make your mouth water. This two-step process is key. The slow cooking, that's what guarantees a tender steak, one that melts in your mouth, and the sear, well, that's what gives it that beautiful crispy crust that we all know and love. It's the best of both worlds. Now preheat your oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Precision is key here. That's 120 degrees Celsius for you fancy pants out there. We want to get this just right. While the oven's heating up, take a moment to gather your thoughts and your tools. Grab a baking rack and place it over a sheet pan. This setup is crucial for even cooking. This is important. We want the heat to circulate around the steak evenly. No hot spots here. Now, gently lay that dry brine steak on the rack. Handle it with care. It's time for it to take a little sauna bath. This is where the magic begins. Pop it in the oven and let it slow cook for about 20 to 30 minutes, allowing the flavors to develop. Depending on the thickness of your steak, thicker steaks need a bit more time. Now I know you're tempted to just shove it in and hope for the best, but patience is key. But you need to check the internal temperature. This ensures perfection. We're aiming for around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, the sweet spot for medium rare. That's 49 degrees Celsius for a perfect medium rare. Precision is everything. If you like your steak more well done, you can adjust accordingly, then cook it a little longer, but be careful. But don't you dare overcook it. Overcooking is the enemy of a good steak. While that steak is having its spa day in the oven, let's prepare for the final sear. Let's get the skillet nice and hot. Cast iron is best, but any heavy-bottom skillet will do. The key is to get it really hot. Crank up the heat to high and add a little bit of oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. We want it shimmering. We want it screaming hot, ready to sear. This is where the magic happens. Now once that steak has reached the perfect internal temperature, take it out of the oven and transfer it straight to that hot skillet. Be quick but careful. Don't be scared of the sizzle. That's the sound of flavor happening. Embrace it. That's the sound of flavor happening. It's music to a chef's ears. Sear each side for about 1 to 2 minutes until you get a beautiful caramelized crust. This is what we're aiming for. You want it nice and brown but not burnt. There's a fine line here. This is what's going to lock in all those delicious juices. The perfect end to our journey. And there you have it. A cheap, tough chuck steak transformed into a juicy, tender masterpiece, just as good as any ribeye, if not better. The flavor is incredible, the texture is melt in your mouth, and the best part is, you didn't have to remortgage your house to afford it. Let's recap those 3 simple steps, shall we? First, we tenderize that meat with the jacquard, like a culinary ninja. Then, we hit it with the dry brine, amplifying the flavor and locking in the moisture, and finally we finished it off with a reverse sear that would make any steakhouse chef proud. Remember, these techniques, they're not just for chuck steak, they work for any tough cut of meat. Beef, pork, chicken, you name it, you can transform it from tough to tender with these 3 simple steps. You'll never be disappointed by a tough cut again. Thanks for cooking along, and for God's sake, enjoy that steak. If you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of my kitchen tips and tricks. And if you're feeling really adventurous, try adding a garlic butter sauce after searing. Just melt some butter with garlic, thyme, a splash of lemon juice, pour it over that steak, and thank me later. Catch you next time.